Oh yeah, we got the no advertisement patch on the arm. So Regidrago versus Lugia V-Star. Lugia V-Star is favored into this matchup, I believe. Canada versus the US. It's just like real life. 3 prizes. Sorry, 3 energy being prized means there's at most 14 in the deck. It's probably fine. I don't really know what Lugia's... I know Lugia's favored into Regidrago, which is a weird thing to say. I know that. But, like, how? Like, what? How do they attack to make that happen? I genuinely don't know. Loving the contrast here. Good sleeve contrast.
Here we go, win and in. Final Swiss round underway, and it will be Lesage kicking things off and immediately.
Ooh, the Haxorus! Nice! For this matchup, Haxorus. I'm really enjoying like the amount of difference we're seeing in these Regidrago decks. It didn't feel like that yesterday at the Cup, I can tell you that much. What, Lugia into Drago? Oh yeah, how did it go by the way? You never told me. I think Drago would have this if it's Hax. Hax is so good in this matchup. It's only good if Mist NG isn't in play. You need to run Temple of Sinnoh with it for it to be effective. But both Bring Down the Axe and Dragon Pulse are massive in this matchup. Hitting 230 onto the Raikou, the Lugia V, the Iron Hands is massive. Temple plus Enhanced Hammer. Enhanced Hammer is an interesting one because if they just put 2 Mist Energy down, which they could, you don't deal with the problem. But if you got Temple in, like I'd be if I was that bothered about Lugia, I'd be running 2 Temple of Sinnoh in the deck. Because you got the Stadium bump stuff for God of War 2, which is also important. Rating God of War? Now that is mirror attack.
Play the Temple of Sinnoh in his hand, and I think wisely here, Lesage has recognized holding off on Temple is going to be the move. Or over to Rahul Reddy's side, he has started with that Raikou V, a really interesting inclusion in this.
Evolution?
And immediately plays the Capturing Aroma, does flip
I run Temple and Jam Tower, but double Temple like a Death Suit. Yeah, I can see Temple and Jam as well, like it makes sense.
From the deck immediately, really want to be discarding those Archeops as quickly as possible and set up for a turn 2 Summoning Star.
Now,
this is going to be a very interesting matchup.
His head, maybe not super happy at flipping.
I think
with the Capturing Aroma, I can't really tell what the rest.
With that 230 damage being 230 attack damage. Ooh, Archeops and Blood Moon are hitting the discard. I think with Regidrago potentially being ready next turn, potentially. I would be quite worried because up until recently there was no big concerns when it came to going second against Regidrago as Lugia. I think with Haxorus you have to worry. The worst matchups are decks that main Cape or Bravery Charm basically X's. Yeah, I mean that's why I'd run Vacuum. Like I think Vacuum is very important in every deck as well at the moment. But yeah, I get the Stadium split. That makes a lot of sense. I went top 8. I was in a winning in last round and got paired against my buddy who was already on 12 points, so probably fine. We weren't completely sure, so we played. He beat my ass. Let me have the win, and we both made it into tops. So decent then. He made it to top 4, and I drove him home as a thank you. It was fine. Lugia still felt a bit at times. I lost to a Snorlax playing 3 Temple and flipping 6 heads on 3 Silines in a row. That's just bad variance, dude. You can't be upset about that. God damn. That's so annoying. Double Lugia, you got to. You got to.
Maybe not as much as in Lugia, but perhaps this is going to change moving forward.
Back over to Lesage's side of the field.
Come on, my butt's going numb. I'm used to sitting down at the computer all weekend doing nothing. Like I play Warcraft, but like I actually get a bit knackered. Oh.
That's a perfect way to offset
beautiful,
that,
beautiful.
The energy. Really
Raikou and Lugia is interesting. It's mirror attack, isn't it?
Really wants to do. Doesn't really mind
it's gotta be.
After the Archeops, especially if there's no threat of.
Oh, Squawkabilly way too late there.
will just try to get through 2 Pokemon, and don't think he drew too well off of that Iono.
I mean, I'm used to playing Pokemon Live TCG every evening for 4 hours. Why would you torture yourself like that?
There's a couple switching.
I will say this much for Rahul. He does have some interesting builds of cards.
Impactful. I think we're gonna need a big restart here for Sack.
To say he's burning cards here.
And it may come down to that restart. There are plenty of cards he could draw. And wow, how about this? Even just benching the Squawk ability so that he is able to draw more
Gross.
with the restart. Ultra Ball and the Giratina V-Star. That can find that.
That's horrible.
V-Star, and we may be seeing the Apex Dragon.
I think we might have to see Dragon this early, right?
On this Legacy Star right here. I mean, finding only 1 Grass Energy plus an Energy Switch doesn't seem like a difficult task, right?
This is
But
horrible.
You're at the mercy of
You can't even, like,
7 cards, right? So
It does have to be
they start for like a
specific.
research or
Urgent
something.
Vessel does not work.
Yep.
Because Zach would not have enough cards to discard from his hand.
it's gonna be the Energy Switch.
I mean, Urban Vessel, if you go Urban Vessel on something else,
Help Zach here.
go double grass, then put them both on the teal mask and see if you can find your way to Ogerpon. Sorry, Energy Switch, that might be the play.
Already 2 Lugia Vs down.
Also, did you see towards game he was running all rare candies? He really was.
Apex Dragon attack to be powered up
2,
via this Legacy
3,
Star 7 card
4,
split. There's the Energy
5,
Switch.
6,
Needs to find a
7.
grass, and no! Rahul fist pumping, recognizing the situation.
Jesus.
Totally aware of what the other needs, and Zach is
Surprised those weren't warped. I imagine he keeps his cards very pristine.
Also has had to mill some pretty good resources. 2 Energy Switch down now for no use.
That's horrible.
Dang, this is really rough here for Zach, missing that knockout, that turn to attack. Like, usually you want to avoid using Legacy Star to get the attack going, but now you've used it and you didn't even get to do it. Now, there's still
Gross.
unutilized teal.
Why didn't he squawk first? He played it down just to get empty his hand, Murdo. It's his second turn.
1 more Energy Switch, but now
Yeah.
he just discarded 2 of them, so
then at
He
this
couldn't have
point,
squawked.
You know, if he does even find an Energy Switch, he's expended so many resources.
It's okay,
at
bud.
that
It's okay.
point.
now with no Minchino in play, with the
So he's
weekly
actually...
prize, Rahul
So Zach has
doesn't
made
have
Rahul's
any
game plan
way
so
to
much
deal with
easier.
having Reggie Drago
Because now he could
so
potentially
gonna
go
be really lucky if Zach
Iron
pulls
Hands
this off, but
on
if he
Squawk
does,
ability.
he's gonna be sitting very pretty.
I know the Legacy Energy's been used, but if there's a way to
Draw
recycle it.
one, Teal Dance has yet one more.
Fistball and
This card is the Fire Energy.
Fire.
Look at the sportsmanship showing.
Immediately
What?
picks up his cards. Not even gonna ask Rahul, do you have the Lugia V-Star? Do you have a way to get 2 prizes? He just
Wow,
immediately scores.
okay.
We go on to game 2.
Wow, I mean,
I
am a fan of an aggressive
Don't
in a best of
know
three format, but
if I agree with a
might
scoop
have been
there.
A little too early. I think I would have waited to see Rahul put Lugia V-Star
Yeah.
in play, and then maybe yes.
I felt way too early, but
it's not guaranteed
they
that
know better than
Rahul
I do, right?
Would even find Lugia V-Star, but as it stands, Zach is conceded
That's
to
so
number
weird.
1. Rahul jumps ahead 1-0 in this series, and now he
I thought this
finds himself
wouldn't be the
just
quick
one
round.
game
I
away
thought we'd be
from
on for this one for a
World
while,
Trading
but
Card World Championships.
apparently not.
That is a very aggressive scoop, which in many situations I like. This one is very, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
delicate,
I don't agree with
but,
that.
I mean,
That seems,
Zach, his game plan,
seems
he
very
knows what he's
preemptive.
doing. He's gotten to this
So
point
992,
not
9292,
for-
so
not by
that's
force, but
1827. So this is winning in.
What an interesting way that game played
How many
out.
rounds did we go for?
Yeah, I mean, and Zach
I
revealed a
think
lot
I
of
counted
tricks
6
there in that
total
game
today.
that Rahul maybe
I'm gonna leave for now.
couldn't
See ya.
do
Bye, Murdo.
otherwise, right? I mean, we saw the
Thanks for
Max
dropping by as
Rare
always.
profile, we saw the Temple of Sinnoh coming into play. Zach even revealed both of the copies of Switch that he plays, which is an abnormal count of that card. So Rahul is aware of everything. I mean, even all the way down
Yeah,
to
why
the
would you
Radiant
give
card
away
bar,
everything like that? So
Rahul
weird.
now knows how to approach this matchup.
all the unique cards that Zach had coming into this, which perhaps at this point,
I
right?
don't know.
These
I'm
players
not sure about that.
normally being at the top tables, probably sitting very close to each other a lot of the times. Like you're bound to find out a little bit, right? But seeing all of them and then not getting utilized effectively at all, Rahul must be in the
Yo, is the Magikarp
Yeah,
hat?
those
Is Tom
players are
there?
also very well networked, right? Have plenty of friends. Quite the
It's
entourage.
quite a distance,
Helps
isn't
them
it, to
out
be
when
able to
it
see
comes to
what's going on stage.
are other people playing in their list.
I'm surprised they don't have monitors at like ground level actually for
They were getting
viewing.
Little tips and tricks here from their friends about, hey, Zach plays this, and to Zach, hey, Rahul plays this, right? Just
So we're looking at a mulligan on Zach's side.
these lists have very abnormal inclusions, to say the least.
Yeah, very peculiar. Reggie Drago and Lugia Vista are definitely out of the norm, but hey, paying off so far for Rahul. Had a very strong start, accomplished.
I like the Meganium giving it a peep there. Hey guys, what's going on? You got games on your phone?
Yeah, it worked out for him really, really well.
Game number 2. I know we didn't see
Magnum side, Meganium side eye.
Rahul only played 1 turn.
Oh,
Zach,
that was
they got
silly.
2 full turns. With the information they both
That's
have,
crazy.
how
2
do
turn
you
scoop.
see this matchup be approached? I mean, Zach will presumably be choosing to go.
Cause
I do believe
what about you, Chad? Did you feel like that was like way too early for a scoop?
That he's going first, which makes sense, right? You get the possibility.
Because like for all you know, you whiffed the V-Star on Rahul's side, and then he's straight back into the game.
Possibilities to get closer to winning.
This that early just felt really weird.
Possible Manchinos, which so far Zach hasn't seen, but I feel
Unless
like
Rahul just went,
getting to
I have Lugia V-Star.
like,
I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
We are getting this game started at the table.
Didn't seem good.
Zach going for that teal dance.
Teal dance attaches energy, draws a card. Draw was
Squawk Billy, Ultra Ball. God, you have to get rid of some resources here.
V-Star looks like it will be an Ultra Ball, discarding the Giratina V-Star and also the Squawkabilly.
Okay, I didn't think a Squawk would go.
Yeah, Squawkabilly, of course.
I suppose you got Professor's Research in the hand for next turn, so maybe you're not worried about it too much.
It's indirect information, right? That Rahul
Just reveal this hand.
Makes an Iono even more appealing, but of course Iono doesn't help Rahul discard Arceus most likely, so it's always a tough decision between the supporter choice for Lugia V-Star players.
I'm confused. I don't know what was
but they need to focus on
upset. I think he didn't do a deck check when he went for the Ultra Ball search. Hadn't shuffled yet.
For Zach didn't seem too bad. Did have an energy switch prize, which can be annoying. A couple of supporter cards.
It'd be great to see the prizes. We don't seem to like be shown the prizes in these game 2s at all. What if Iron Thorns wins Worlds? I will buy my first ever Worlds deck.
Fernando Cifuentes is in with Iron Thorns EX, locking up a record of 10 and 230 match points.
Did you just summon that? What the hell?
Who was his opponent in that round because
that was so weird.
And Fernando was playing Iron Thorns, so that's tough.
Yeah.
Makes sense that they are.
Look, I'm not saying that I'm an Iron Thorns believer, right? But
Look at this. Rahul just read the wind. And that's
wow.
it is in my deck.
We were talking about what happened on the floor. We missed all of Rahul's turn.
Which wasn't a lot.
No, attach energy, read the wind.
Oh, we're gonna get a really quick game 2 here.
Are we gonna head to a quick game 3 after 3 turns total, Chip?
This is
I mean,
insane.
it is definitely possible. Zach Lesage could very much win the game this turn. Giratina V-Star is already in the discard pile.
This is such a weird matchup.
More than enough to deal
This is a
with
weird
the
match, I should say.
Lugia V Rahul, hoping for a higher power here to hang on for just a little bit longer.
I wanted to touch upon
I can
Rahul,
promise you
right?
there's
He did prize the
nobody
legacy energy
watching
and
Pokemon.
double turbo energy, which
No
is
celestial
also
being is watching
to
Pokemon and going,
affect,
I hope my favorite little
in
man
terms of, like,
wins.
reducing the possibility of weird
You know what I mean?
damage. There's also the sensitivity
I think
prize
you're hoping for a bit too
as
much there, champ.
well, which could have been impactful in a long
Prime
game,
Catcher
but,
doesn't help in this
the chances of us
situation,
seeing a
which is
long
kind of
game
wild.
doesn't seem too big right now.
I don't know what Zach Lesage has here, to be honest. He looks like he's retreating into the Reggie Drago and is going to be Night Stretcher to bring back a grass energy. In order to
Okay.
draw one. This is desperate times right here.
I think he's just making the most use out of what he has. Yeah.
I
This
think
does
he
mean
might
one
have
Reggie
it.
Switch and one
Wow.
Reggie Drago V-Star away from knocking out, and of course, if he finds the Reggie Drago V-Star, he gets an extra reach into the deck.
Yeah, if you see the V-Star or a way to get to the V-Star, that's game.
So he's looking at 2 cards from Restart, 7 from Research. and
Surely.
if he finds a Reggie Drago plus whatever else he can thin the deck with, we're looking at potentially 14 to 15 cards this turn, Chip.
Wow, yeah, there's a huge opportunity.
Come on, Zach, do it for the Dragons.
Lesage, a Reggie Drago V-Star and an Energy Switch. Those are the 2 cards he needs to find, and he's able to find them in.
So there's your
order,
manual.
which is really nice for him at this point as well. attachment for turn.
Oh, I forgot restart.
Cards. There's a grass energy. There's a fire.
Lol.
Here comes the research. 7 cards to be drawn.
Useless.
He finds
Energy
them.
switch would have gone
At
so hard
minimum,
there.
Regidrago V-Star would let him continue to dig a couple of nest balls.
No.
No guarantee. I mean, no.
Friggin' whiffed it.
V-Star.
No anything.
No anything. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ultra Ball doesn't have an energy to keep drawing with another Teal Mask Ogre Pawn EX. Is he gonna use
Like, the
Celestial
funny thing
Roar
is, I wonder
potentially?
if it would have been better to
I
not
would
use
imagine
the restart,
so.
though.
It doesn't really accomplish too much. The Radiant Carnivore is pretty key here. Like, if you're not gonna be able to win right now, the Gardevoir does protect the Regidrago V from Lugia's attack. Now you can no longer do 220 damage. It's 200 maximum.
That's so wild that you didn't see anything there. No Ultra Ball, no V-Star.
Which is very key. But yeah.
Would you not
no
squawk? It's
loss
his
here
second
for
turn, he can't
Zach. I don't
squawk.
even think you risk the Celestial Roar. Like, 1 extra energy doesn't really...
I wouldn't risk a Celestial Roar here, that seems very
And
silly.
you could end up discarding key pieces like...
This is such a scuffed match. This is insane. If Rahul gets away with this, I'm gonna be shocked.
I mean, you could do it, probably not worth the risk. You gotta hope.
Like, that's so wild that, like, a complete whiff of the V-Star.
Not a single Arceus in the discard pile, which is very, very important. So
Go for a second research, screw it.
I think he still has a big advantage right here.
A little bit of an unfortunate miss, but yes, he is definitely still in a very solid spot. Will choose to switch into the Mew EX. Now that is something that could be KO'd by a Lugia V-Star. What do you think of this?
That is very peculiar for sure.
Not
Also
sure about
gonna
that
allow Rahul
myself.
To go like boss on the energy-less Regidrago and potentially
Evolution.
trap it, so
Needs a basic.
I mean, maybe he thought he could still restart and then realized it. I'm not entirely sure, but now we're gonna see Rahul actually.
Oh, we are going to see Archeops, actually.
It's gonna been the
Is this going to be a 1 Archeops game?
on this weekend chip.
Rahul doing his first deck search. We'll take a moment to just check a couple prizes. Actually going to choose to fail the Earthen Vessel. Does not
One
want
Archeops
that
game.
energy out, and is going to summoning start just for the one single Archeops. This is never the spot you want to be in as a Lugia V-Star
Shit.
player.
Also utilizing that missed energy onto the active.
That's,
copy, so Haxor's
Oh, is he only running 1 missed energy? What the... What?
The V-Guard energy also protecting from lost impact, and Zach just handing Rahul the first 2 prizes. This went from really bad.
1 missed
to
is
potentially really good for
interesting.
Rahul Reddy.
Now, as Zach here, what do you prioritize? Is it worth really chasing after that only Archeops in play, or do you really want to try to deal with this Lugia V-Star that's already become so threatening?
I reckon you try to dig for that Temple of Sinnoh because
There's Hax.
what's Rahul gonna do with 2 energies? Like, there's nothing that's really effective to attack with, nothing that really threatens.
Regidrago V-Star?
About 4 energies from play. I think
Really
if you
need
look
to see the
at it
stadium.
as going after the Archeops, it's like you're taking away 4
Because
energies.
Giratina doesn't
you
one-shot
do
it now.
2, right? As opposed to go after the Archeops, you leave 4 energy in play, you leave 4 potentially...
I think you have to dig for the temple with the V-Star attack.
Yeah, and with that V-Guard energy, lost impact won't be an option either. Haxorus can't bring down the axe. So it's gonna
be a
Temple of Sinnoh
crap
down. Now,
V-Star.
Zach was able to draw into Regidrago V-Star. We're gonna do some teal dances, and that is certainly the big card to find here.
Didn't see what it
Zach
was.
Find his 1-of copy of Temple of Sinnoh.
He can go for 2 more
Despite
Oakapon.
a single grass energy when he plays 7, I don't fancy my chances of finding my 1 copy
There
of
it is.
Temple of Sinnoh.
We're going for it though. 7 cards from the top.
I like the,
Game winning.
Temple!
There it
Hits
is.
it. What a draw. A ton of energy to hit the discard pile. But Zach does have access to superior energy retrieval to recover those. And immediately he knows, yeah, Temple of Sinnoh has got to be my first grab.
The card you're absolutely looking forward.
You need the grass
in
energy
this
still.
situation. Prime Catcher also looks like a nice pick as well. V-Star exhausted, a lot of resources gone, but your opponent has 2 Pokemon.
That temple's,
Pretty
like,
good at this point.
obviously it, right?
I mean, it is an aggressive line, but you are leaving your opponent with very, very little. It's gonna be
Like,
difficult
I could see the temptation to go for the
to
V-Star, for the Archeops here, to be honest.
position. Do see superior energy retrieval does fetch quite a few of those energy cards from the discard pile, bringing them back into the hand. Teal dance.
We didn't see any energy switch hit the discard either, I don't think.
Pawn number
Which is
2,
good.
Draw a little bit more. Temple of Sinnoh being put into
Bring
play.
down the axe.
Let's draw a card here. And with those energies active, no longer...
Bring down the axe
thanks to
as well doesn't activate gift energy, which is kind of crazy.
Sure enough, Haxorus brings down the axe and leaves Rahul ready with
Nest
just
ball.
an
Yep,
and
scoop.
we're going to game 3.
Oh my god. 2 10-minute games. On average, I should say. They've got time for a proper game now. My god. That's so silly. God damn.
I'm really hoping both players get to set up this time around.
Yeah, dude, can we see like a proper game? That got kind of crazy. Oh man, it's been fun so far, hasn't it, chat?
Maybe that means we're due for a great one here for the final win in game.
I feel like Destiny should balance things out, right? The universe should balance things out and allow us to get a good, long, decision, intense game 3. That would be.
I think yeah, Reddy Drago is such an interesting deck because I think you can actually like absolutely build a list.
Round 12. We do have one more update
For a perceived meta. Because if you think you're going to run into a load of Lugia, going Haxorus Temple of Sinnoh makes so much sense.
Let us know, Chip.
Yeah, field reporter Puka letting us know Jesse and Taisei going into game 3.
I think Giratina versus Raging Bolt was a fascinating argument.
Let's recap that game number 2.
Gudra yes, Gudra no. Like, there's so many choices.
Zach had a much better go of things in this game, though, than he did in game number 1. A pretty strong setup, and all Rahul had on his first turn is read the wind. Almost reminiscent of
the restart for the 2NG is so rude.
Abyss Seeking, right?
Pretty much. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I did question the Mew, but like, to be fair, whatever went up was getting knocked out.
That Reggie Drago Vistar did not miss.
Oh, to be fair, you could have put Ogapon up actually, and it would have been fine.
Finding the Temple of Sinnoh, bringing it back, and then using the axe to take down
like,
that Lugia
out of
Vistar
interest,
and head
what
into
was
a great
Rahul
game
expecting
three.
to top deck that would have kept him in the
poetic
game?
justice, right? Zach had that horrible game 1, which
Because I just don't see anything.
ended a little bit, but
Like, the Nespel was the only thing I could see that you'd want to top deck.
powerful.
Maybe get an attacker
We had the Lugia
involved.
Vistar, and then Rahul just did a
Like, you
complete
weren't getting anything from
start
that.
game 2.
So presumably, Rahul's going
Very
first
quick
here.
Game 3 now. Plenty of time to find a winner in this one, right? Almost half an hour. Both of these decks are very aggressive. Both of these decks are very back and forth.
Oh,
Who are
the
you
half flame.
fancying, Chip?
Well, at this point, Rahul is having lost game number 2, going to get to choose to go.
Yeah, I do wonder how this matchup goes because of the way Zach's built it. It does seem very weird that you would go a Lugia way though, because I don't think Lugia was like predicted to be too common in this one. Like, it's kind of wild that Charizard was like the most picked, really, outside of Reggie Drago. But I think Reggie Drago was like 27% of the top.
Game number 3. Not a great start for
27
either of these players.
brain?
Serendipity EX on the side of Rahul Reddy.
27%, that's what I'm looking for. My god, I'm tired.
Can be powered up pretty quickly for Lugia, and Zach Lesage, though, starting that Kyurem.
Dude, Ultra Ball for the 2 Archeops goes pretty
Duel of
hard.
the Shrouded Fable Pokemon from the new
The
set.
Pheasant Skibidi in
Pheasant Skibidi
Lugia
being
makes
a little
sense.
bit more useful for Rahul than Kyurem in this situation.
So I'm guessing we Ultra Ball for the
Universe
Lugia,
attack
at least
can be copied
in
to
weird.
take
That's
down
never.
Minchinos, to take down
Oh, like I say, if there's no Ultra Ball there, you've not got a great hand. Hello, James. Welcome back.
Away double Archeops is very, very big.
I mean, that is the hand that every
dream.
Lugia
We're very
dreams of.
very
That's the hand
fumbly
that all
on
my
this
Lugia
on this
opponents
matchup,
have
aren't
when
we?
I play versus them.
A lot of cards seem to be accidentally being like knocked and spilled and things.
And has the Lugia V-Star already in the hand. Now we are over to
Yikes.
Zach Lesage with that Ultra Ball does discard the Haxorus. We've seen how impactful.
I think we might see a Reggie Drago just KO'd in that game.
For any Pokemon.
I couldn't tell from his hand what he has going for him.
Yeah, I think you have to go Squawk here, right?
Doesn't seem like much, so I think we might just see a Squawkabilly.
These are the guys to watch if you want an example of fast play. Game 3, 30 minutes left on the clock,
But
right?
you're
Average of 10
staring
minutes
down
per game.
Double Archeops already in the discard pile. You're staring down the Lugia. The Pheasant is ready to retreat.
God, this is a horrible position for Zach to be in.
Hope for at this point, and Zach doesn't know it. You mentioned the Lugia V-Star is already there, so it would be really good.
Couldn't
for
be me.
Zach if he could find
I
a way.
wouldn't want to be here.
That is the Squawkabilly being grabbed. Squawk and C is able to discard the hand to draw 6 fresh new cards. We are getting crazy updates from the floor right now. Looks like Jesse Parker
Crazy updates?
able to defeat Taisei Ito and move to 12-0 at the World
12-0. That's so crazy.
What sounds like a very strong turn 1 front.
36 points.
Very much
That would get you into a normal regional in current format. Or I suppose last year's format, because the regional format's changing, but my god. I think if we see a boss's orders this turn from Rahul, that's already game. That is the kind of cool thing about these matchups as well, though, is like you can see when you're already too far behind, right? Especially against Lugia. Like, if that V-Star gets established and is attacking, that's game, man. You want to see an Iono, to be honest, mate.
Does have Mu EX, is going to need to use this restart ability. Oh no, has 3 cards in hand, but that research in order to discard.
So 1 V-Star gone already.
Missed the research in his hand. Now these 7 cards are going to be powerful. Did lose Night Stretcher, already Haxers in the discard pile. Did lose.
Okay, you got attachment, you got a Teal Dance.
So depending on the prizes that could.
But boss will happen regardless, I think, because you don't want to knock out the Kyurem. You don't want to give them that option.
Just in case there's the boss's orders play, but doesn't seem like he'll be able.
You're absolutely getting boss this turn. There's no way you don't. What's in hand? V-Star, Urban Vessel, Research? I think Research. You're not going to get Pheasant Skibidi, so it is going to be a top deck.
Moving to 31 match points with, of course, that Raging Bolt from Australia. Now it will be Zach Lesage passing things over to Rahul Reddy, who immediately is able to evolve Lugia V into Lugia V-Star, has the Jet energy.
I don't know that you want to take a KO here.
Just go ahead and put that V-Star marker, put a couple Archeops in play, and Primal Turbo.
Yeah, I mean, I like powering up this Lugia V-Star with that Mist energy, with the V-Guard energy. However,
like,
the V-Guard energy is prized
there's a
potential
for the Pheasant Dippity to be the attacker.
Impact attack now. I like this choice by Rahul.
And just chipping damage and keeping the Kyurem in the active and making Rahul move it.
Just to make sure that he minimizes the amount of energy that he will draw.
It's only doing 80, but like hitting the Regidrago for 80 wouldn't even be the worst thing in the world. Never mind.
Now the crowd going wild with that Professor Research.
Yeah, totally going wild.
I don't know if you guys can hear the commentary, because like, I'm obviously getting a bit quieter, but you just said with the crowd going wild for that Research. That's an odd. That's the first odd he's rolled. Gotta go for this Encino, right?
Yeah, knocking out this.
Oh no! That's such a good. Yeah, bundle.
That Rahul could go 1-3 with Iron Hand.
Nah, you're going bundle, pal.
On any of these Pokemon, so could be.
That's a good play.
Even more important, having them in Chino.
Dude, the Iron Bundle, like, I don't know if I don't know if it's just me, but like in the last 2 or 3 months, it's just been sneaking into every deck. It's so good. Mist, Gift, Jet. You want a V-Guard on that Lugia. Put a V-Guard on that Lugia.
That is a huge card inclusion here for Rahul Reddy, that Hyper Blower ability.
We're going to see this is Cincino. Cincino. Yeah. Oh, Minccino, sorry, not Cincino. I always forget which one's the evolution. I don't know why, but I feel like Minccino should be the basic because it's M-I-C, whereas Cincino has got like all the C's. It's a weird logic, but like in my brain, that's how it works. Hyper. Oh boy, stream's breaking again.
Even though it's pretty obvious. I agree, it's pretty obvious.
I think we just watch this view from now on. I think it's the perfect way to enjoy the gameplay, quite frankly. What if the overlay is causing that issue?
Could potentially matter.
Yeah, I think that is totally fair to point out, though it is pretty inconsequential at this point.
Yep.
Another camera seizure, right? Oh look, we can see hands now. That's kind of cool.
Dive 2 prizes for Rahul Reddy. Able to find that.
I love seeing hands.
A little bit too late though.
Oh, didn't go V-Guard on the Lugia. So Regidrago could take a knockout here.
From Australia, so Michael Davidson will be moving in. He has been one of the great young players this season.
Which is kind of concerning for Rahul, but we haven't got Giratina in the discard yet.
Deep runs at regional championships.
As a Zard player, do you go first blind? No, you go second.
What a way to close out.
it avoids you getting donked with that one single basic in the active.
You're going to crown them.
It lets you use Arv and stuff. The setup is far more important as a
And it
Zard
could be
player.
one of these two players, right?
It absolutely could be, and if Zach Lesage wants it to be him, he's going to need to pick it
Bum, bum,
up
bum.
here. Starts
I once
off with
prized.
the teal dance,
My
draws
opponent
the
once
card
prized 3
off
Lugia V
of
stars.
that, and also attaches the
Gross.
energy into play. Attachment
I once prized all
for
3 Giratina V while playing Lost Scene at a cup. That was stressful. Yeah, I can imagine it is.
Canceling Cologne?
Who Cancel Cologne really wants to get use of that Kyurem against everything now. We did
Two
see
Cologne.
Anayono, instead of the research trying to be a bit more conservative, did not play the second Canceling Cologne, which I would wonder what he's
I don't think he
saving it
can.
for.
Because he can't play it twice.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have an effect, right? You can't play a trainer if it's known to have no effect, right? It's already
Okay,
turning off
fair
the
enough,
active's ability.
fair
Is that how it works? I would imagine so.
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, I've definitely never been in a situation where I had the opportunity to
Temple of
play
Sinnoh again?
Canceling Colognes. Now, Zach did find the Temple of Sinnoh, so he can.
That's
bring
knocked
down
out,
the
not
creature
specifically
that's
from damage, so it still activates the
Skibbity.
Skibbity.
He's wondering if I knock out through an effect of an attack, right, which is bring down the axe, will Fezandipity EX activate it? And I believe the answer is yes, because it's any knockout. It doesn't matter whether it's by damage.
I knew that one!
Or damage.
Managed to take 2
If
prizes,
opponent
still had
took a
all 3
knockout
prizes. I
during
must have
their
really anchored the
turn,
cards.
you get a
That does seem
2
like
extra
target
card. You
bullying,
get
to be fair.
potentially
I get it.
Use the ability and draw 3 extra cards, because you can even take. as
Legacy's
a-
now in hand for
you
Rahul.
can take a KO with Dostmore, for example, and you still get to draw the 3 cards, and that wasn't an attack of any sort.
Right, it is during your opponent's last turn. Very crucial wording.
So,
Been around the Pokemon
you need the
system a
Energy
lot.
Switch,
that
and you need Haxorus in the
details
discard.
are
If you
ever
don't
important,
go
right?
for Haxorus in the discard,
Wording there.
Giratina also
Knocked out,
works. There's no
not knocked out
V-Guard
by
on the
damage or
Lugia.
anything like that.
That
Exactly.
does preserve the
That's
temple for later.
Reddy
But there's only
Drago
one missed energy in
the use of the V-Star
Rahul's
button
list,
yet.
apparently, so
He does need to find
Can
an
play
energy
around
switch
it.
to pull off the attack here. Looks like just a couple cards in hand. Does have access to Muse restarts. Has that Temple of Sinnoh. We will see that be
There's
put
the
into
temp.
play. 2 cards from the restart. I think Zach would love to save the Legacy Star if he could. Did he find Energy Switch?
He's found
was
something.
not able to found a pretty powerful card in Prime Catcher, but I think you likely still.
I think
just
best of
go
ones, you should
after
look at your hand and decide to go
the
first or
V-Star.
second.
However, perhaps if you Legacy Star and discard the Halucha, you could
I
play
could
the Halucha, use Flying
see
Entry,
that as an
put one
option.
damage counter on the Minchino,
I don't necessarily
and
think
the
it's
Fezandipity, and then knock
correct,
out
but like
Fezandipity
I
and
get what
Minchino,
you're
which is
saying.
the
If you
big
win the
threat.
coin flip, you should be able to decide based on your hand.
Fezandipity get promoted
Yeah,
through the
I think that would be a lot
Prime
fairer.
Catcher
It'd make
active
best of ones
slot,
much more
or
interesting to
the
me.
Legacy Star has been utilized, and the Fezandipity does have that double turbo, so it could end up being discarded.
Was
or
there no
knocked out
energy
by Bring Down
switch?
the Axe as well.
Yeah, and I think what Zach is thinking
Oh, okay, there's one
here
there.
is he wanted to make sure he could bring back his Prime Catcher, right? That's why he's
Yep.
using Prime Catcher before the use of that Legacy Star V-Star.
Imagine he uses Prime
Not
Catcher
able to
again
block
just to
the
bring
play
up the
he
Lugia.
would like to otherwise, but it's still gonna be pretty
Best of
solid.
ones, dead
It
first
did
hand
hit
game.
the energy.
Yeah, it happens quite a lot. Like we've had it in tournament runs before, where like the deck has been running fine, everything's been good, blah blah blah, but then the deck just dies on its arse from a bad hand opening, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that is definitely
And I
true.
chose to go first, so I get donked in that game. Like it never feels good. It's why I don't like pre-release format. I don't like alternate formats at all.
It will be
Haxorus.
to bring down the axe, KOing the Fezandipity EX. That means Rahul will not be able to flip the script, will not be able to draw any extra cards. Fezandipity going down.
I don't think he needs to.
Pile.
It's a hand of energy, though, to be
Start
fair.
into play. Let's see what Rahul Reddy does with it. Flips a coin with that capturing aroma. It is the tails. Is it time for Weird Deer V potentially?
Nope, it's the fish.
Luminion V the grab. Luminous Sign able to search the deck for any supporter card and add it to the hand. What is Rahul thinking to go for here?
No Radiant Gardevoir does mean any 2-prizer on the bench is in range of Lugia V-Star, right?
The bear.
Go down to 2
The
prizes.
fish and the bear.
And Ursaluna also potentially can take 2
The
prizes.
fish, the
Rahul
bear, and the
tried to
rat.
just completely bypass the
It's really
Raging
what the
Drago
decks should be
and
called.
take down any of the Ogre Pods,
Noah's
or the
Ark.
new, or the current Raging Drago V. So Rahul has a very clear path, the 2-2-2. It's on sack to stop that from happening.
There's a weird
More
ear.
update from the floor. Ian Robb defeats
The
Coyote
bear, the
Suzuki
fish,
in
the
order
deer,
to
and the
move
rat.
to 30 match points. Ian Robb's Reggie Drago able to defeat Charizard EX. Ian, of course, a second place
Mr.
finisher
Gozy,
in junior
find whatever you
division.
like.
Back at Worlds in 2012 in Hawaii. He's looking to make another finals run.
He could
Is that 2
definitely
fish?
recreate that photo or go one better with
Huh?
where he's currently at. So pretty cool to see as we see Rahul rushing through.
Sounds like the Chinese
turn.
Zodiac.
And see the Ursaluna
Yeah,
being
you're
powered up.
wrong.
Did grabbed the Luminion, hasn't grabbed the boss just yet. Just trying to establish enough threats, get those gift energy going, try to make sure that he finds the boss's orders as well next.
So
I
the
think Rahul can
bed doesn't, I was gonna say, the bed doesn't take the knockout. Bonzi362022, thank you very much for the follow, very much appreciated. Please raise your do's and tutorus for Bonzi. Welcome, welcome.
Finds boss's orders. Gives the he doesn't truly mean it. Is not truly happy to
The
see
Curum just sitting there at the bench is so sad.
ability to take two more tries.
It's why I like Penny in this deck. Like, get rid of the basics, get them out of there. There's so much stuff you want in Regidrago. Like, it could easily be a 70 card deck. I'm sure that's true of a lot of decks, but Regidrago is the one I think about the most. It's such an easy 70 card deck.
Active for Rahul. We do see the boss's orders onto that energy attached. Ogre Punch is going for a quick 2-2-2. You don't need to go after the Regidrago. You don't need to focus on
The bear is just sitting there threatening.
Is still threatening.
So we know there's 2 Luminion.
So its damage is reduced to the point where it wouldn't be able to knock out Regidrago V-Star itself.
So another boss could absolutely come down next turn, depending on what Rahul does.
Scenario. Zach Lesage looking at the resources.
I think it practically is.
What could he possibly do? Is there a stall angle? You can see it on his face. He's scrambling, he's looking, trying to find any path to victory, and this is what makes good players great players. What makes that separation is he's looking for any possibility.
I do wonder how many counts of Temple there are. I think it was only mentioned to be 1. It's definitely not in deck if there is another one, so.
What he can piece together.
You've got to go through the Lugia of a Giratina or something.
Relevant at this point in time. I mean, it does protect
You got no other hope.
Regidrago and Ogre Pond from Lugia, but it doesn't protect them from Ursa Luna or a fully powered up Cinccino.
Well, to be fair, it also doesn't help Mew, because Mew goes down to the Lugia still.
Cinccino is still hiding.
It's only reducing it by 20.
Yeah, just that 1-1 line coming back to bite Rahul here a little bit maybe, but I mean,
Yikes.
I think he's going to have plenty of options.
I think that's game. I don't think there's a lot more
We'll see though.
Zach can do here.
If Zach Lesage can find a way, that would be extremely impressive. He does have Prime Catcher in his hand, one of the most powerful cards in his
I just can't see
deck.
it myself.
Here at this point to any good effect. I mean, dealing with this active Lugia seems like the best course of action.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got to be game. Yeah.
It looks like the answer is no, and that means Rahul
So close to top 8.
gets the win on this win-and-in match to move into top cut at the 2024 World Championships.
Going up.
Damn.
Is it 31 match points or 20 or 30?
30 match points.
30 match.
All right, we're going to skip ahead to the